I saw this from the Detroit Free Press, and I thought this would be something kind of intriguing to talk about. And that is, I want to say 5 trade scenarios coming from Dave Burkett. He's a Detroit Lions beat writer, about 5 different trade scenarios that the Detroit Lions could possibly entertain with the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, it came out today that Jeffrey Simmons is now the second highest defensive paid defensive tackle under Aaron Donald. So that trade, that whole scenario, he made some noise and he got what he wanted. So he will be there for the next 4 years. That seems to be what the defensive tackle kind of salary length is, or years, when it comes to their contract. But without further ado, let's get this thing started. Here are 5 trade scenarios for the Detroit Lions in the NFL Draft. Now, this one was sitting on the screen already. I'm going to tell you who we take and what we do. So scenario 1 is with the Las Vegas Raiders, the trade. The Lions move down 1 spot from 6 to 7 in the first round and get the Raiders' 4th round choice, which is 109 overall, and a 4th round pick in 2024. And we select Tyree Wilson. So that would be number 1. So we move down 1 spot and we gain a 4th round pick this year, which is something we don't have. That's not too bad. So assuming Carter, if the Lions do want Carter and those guys are off the board, any of their big board guys, that wouldn't be that bad. So right now, scenario number 1, I am not opposed to that one bit. Now, scenario number 2, the trade. The Lions move down 2 spots from 6 to 8 and get Atlanta's 3rd rounder, number 75 overall, and a 6th round pick next year. So we take Devin Witherspoon at 8. So we get a extra 3rd rounder, move back 2 spots. So we would have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and we get Devin Witherspoon. That's not bad either. So assuming that all the guys that we want off our board are gone off our board, so far the first 2 are not that bad. Just moving down a couple spots and gaining an extra 3rd round pick this year. So we would get a 4th rounder in the first one we don't have, and we would get an extra 3rd rounder. So we would have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds. So scenario number 3, the trade. The Lions move down 5 spots. We've heard this one quite a bit, but now Jeffrey Simmons is off the market. From 6 to 11, we get Tennessee's 3rd round choice, 72 overall, and a 2nd rounder next year, and we draft Bijan Robinson. Now, this one here is very intriguing, very, very intriguing, because we drop down 6 spots. We gain an extra 3rd round pick. So this is another one that would give us a 2nd, 3rd round pick, and we get Bijan Robinson. I mean, so far, Dave is batting 3 for 3 here. I would take this one as well. That would be stellar, because we would still have a guy we can get at 11, and then we turn around and have 18. So far, he's 3 for 3 in my opinion. Scenario number 4, the trade. The Lions move down 10 spots. Wow. We go from 6 to 16. We get Washington's 2nd round choice, so we get number 47. A 4th rounder, number 148. A 2nd rounder in 2024, and we give up a 6th. Okay, so we trade with the Washington Commanders. We lose 10 spots, and then we gain. Okay, so we would have 3 seconds. We would have a 4th and a 2nd rounder next year. We would give up 1 of our 2 sixths. That's kind of hefty as far as the trade back. I wouldn't mind that under the assumption that all the guys are coming off that we would want. So for me, I mean, if all the guys are gone, this wouldn't be terrible, but this right here is probably my least favorite. So we would have picks number 47, 48, 55, and we would gain a 2nd rounder next year. All right, this one right here is quite intriguing. While we would go back 10 spots, look at what we would pick up. So we would have pick 16 to go along with our 18. So we would have 2 players in 3 picks. Then we would pick number 47. We already have 48. And then we would pick again at 55. We don't have a 4th round pick. So then we would get that 4th round pick, number 118, and then we would get a 2nd rounder next year. So we would fill in the gap between 81 and 152 with 118. So this would be 6, 18. Then we would have 47, 48, 55, 81, 118. So Brad Holmes would get an extra 2 picks this year to go back 10 spots, right? That one is quite intriguing, but I don't know if the Lions would take that. And then last but certainly not least, we stay put and we take Tyree Wilson at number 6. Now, Tyree Wilson, he is slated to come off the board in the top 10, but we really don't know what's going to play out. We'll find out in just under 3 weeks. All right, but let me know in the comments below, which trade scenario would you prefer? Would you prefer 1, 2, 3, 4, or would you like to stay put? I myself, this one is intriguing, man. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't be mad at any of these. The last one, trading back 10 spots and gaining 2 extra picks, that's quite hefty. And we get another pick next year when the Matthew Stafford picks will finally be over. That's tough. It's intriguing but tough because it's so many players that we could get that we might not be able to take if we were to do that. So that's intriguing, but probably my least favorite. If I had to pick one, I probably would take one of the earlier ones where I'm guessing I like this one. Scenario number 3, we move back from 6 to 11. We get Bijan Robinson. We get an extra 3rd round pick. So then we would have number 55. We would have number 55, 72, and 81. So I think for me, scenario 3 would be the one that I would go with. But let me know in the comments below, which one would you like the Lions to do? My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel so you won't miss any coverage of your Detroit Lions coming up soon. We got a lot of stuff happening in the next 3 weeks and beyond. So consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions.